Alright guys, so this is my 5th time making a video for this course. Hopefully this one uploads. I got the YouTube account now set up, so hoping this will be seamless. A lot of you have already done the activity for today, but in case you haven't, here's what we're doing today. We are creating a image, maybe multiple images that can go inside of our altered books. So if you don't have your altered book at home, that's okay. You don't have to have the physical book to actually work on what we're gonna be doing this week. You will wanna have, some art supplies handy. What we're talking about today includes Elmer's glue. You will also want to make sure that you've got like that research packet and that planning packet. If you left school and hadn't grabbed those, I will make them available for you I'll put them on Canvas under files so that you can access that, maybe reprint that off and fill out again, or fill out what you haven't done yet. So that'll be helpful for you so that you know what content you need to put in your book. So for today's activity, we are to complete just like a 2 to 3 inch picture. This isn't a picture, but this is about the size that I'm thinking, either like this size here, or you could even go one step bigger, because you have to think about it has to fit inside of a book. So if you've got a picture that's bigger than this, it's not gonna fit, or you'll have to spread it across two pages. So you could do one image like this. You could also make it a little bit smaller to put on your page if you'd like. But that's what we're completing today. So that should relate to your topic. Let me show you a couple of images that are in this book here. So this isn't obviously a hand-drawn image, but the size is great, the content is great. If you've got an artist, creating an artist reproduction would be perfect. What else? Another little image falling out there. Another thing that you could do, since we're working on like hand-drawn pictures today, is maybe doing some background paper. So what this person did, she took a piece of paper and she did kind of a watercolor background. She also has, I love this page here where she's taken tape and taped that off and then filled in those negative spaces there. So any way that you can create something by hand today for your book, that's what I'm looking for. That's our assignment. Now you don't have to photograph that today and upload. We will always upload every other day. So this is our first day. We're gonna upload tomorrow. On Thursday, we'll have another lesson. We upload on Friday. So you're uploading twice a week, every other day. So don't feel like I have to see your artwork each day, again, every other day. That was a common question. I've been receiving kind of a lot of emails, so I wanted to make sure that I made that clear. Every other day for uploading. I trust you guys to be working on what you need to. And I know some people spend longer on their artwork than others, so I don't want to rush the process. So here's some other, kind of just some hand-drawn images. You can make images that go in a pocket here. Of course, I don't want to say that you only have to make one image, because you could keep going. You don't have to just do the bare minimum here, but handmade images for our books is what we're looking for today. So in this next little segment, I'm gonna show you how to glue your pages. So if you only have time today to work on some of those hand-drawn images, that's fine. You can sort of end the video here and come back to this when you have time to glue. But if you wanna hang on for a couple more minutes and see this next process, that's great too. So here's what you'll need. You'll need your book, obviously. And again, if you don't have your book, if you didn't bring it home, that's okay. You could just wait till we get back to school to do this. Or if we get going and this is an extended thing that we're not back to school, after a month, then I might have you get a different book and we can kind of start this process again at home. So a lot of us who have our books at home, we've already thinned the pages. And the next process is gluing chunks of 10 pages together. So this one's already done because I've done this video many times today. So this page is already done. I'm gonna move on to my next section now. So I've glued that chunk together. Let's see if I can get this in the frame. I have a new tripod thing working here and it's kind of above, so I'm trying to figure that out. I've already glued these 2 pages together. Now you don't wanna put glue on top of this page because that'll just stick to that other page, right? So I'm gonna skip a page and then I'm gonna start my glue here. So here's what I've got. I've got a little dish. I've poured some Elmer's glue in it, and I've also added a little bit of water. I'm gonna add some more water because this is starting to dry. I've added some water, and that is to thin excuse me, that is to thin the glue a little bit. So I've just thinned the glue. I'm using a sponge to spread like this. You could use a paintbrush. You could use like your hands. Doesn't have to be very clean. Now I will say, if you're doing this like at a kitchen table or in your bedroom, like at a desk, I would put some newspaper down so that it doesn't get going everywhere. We don't want to be too messy, especially on our first day. So again, I've just got my little bowl here. I'm dipping into the bowl and spreading it on the page. Now I thinned it out because you really don't need full strength glue to glue each of these pages. I had a few people email me and ask about using a glue stick. You can use a glue stick. If you have glue stick at home, you could use glue stick instead. The pages will stick together, but I will say you won't get like that crispy finish like these pages have. They won't be, you know, they won't be like that. So it's more of a, your pages will kind of bend like this, which is fine too. It's kind of a, an unusual time, so we're all just doing the best we can. So if you guys have glue stick, that's perfect. Let's use that. Okay, and I would keep repeating this process until I've glued those 10 or 15, however many pages your sections are, until you've glued that all together. So let's say that I've finished this section. Another thing you'll want to do is, or another thing that's helpful to do, is I've got little clothespins here. You could use clothespins, you could use paper clips to do this, but I'm gonna pin each of my sections so that they don't stick together. Again, this is optional, but if you have it at home, you can see each of my sections is pinned separately now, and then I can move on to that next section here. Now, for the completion of this project, you need to have 5 of these chunks. So like this one and this one, that'll give us 10 sides. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And I would want to do, you know, 3 more to get to the full 10 there. Okay, so that is how we're gonna glue the pages. Again, you'll need glue, some sort of clips to do the pages, watered down glue with maybe a sponge or a paintbrush. And I think that's it. When you let it dry, you should leave it out to dry, obviously, so that the pages don't all stick together. But we are gonna finish with something that's sort of like this. You can see on this one too that the glued pages don't exactly, what am I trying to say? These aren't gonna be perfectly flat. So if yours dry kind of crazy like that, I know when we did this last year, some of the kids were stressed. That's just where that person clipped the page. That's okay if it dries like this. Doesn't have to be perfectly flat. This is kind of an imperfect project. If you want to keep working ahead, if you're enjoying this and you have time at home and you want to start working on the rest of your content for this, maybe painting some backgrounds and working on other like printed information or photos, feel free to do that. Okay, so tomorrow when we have our little turn-in box, we're going to be photographing that, putting it into the Dropbox. But until then, today's just a work day. Tomorrow I'll pop back on here and kind of show you a few more things with our book. We'll talk about our planning packet, and then we will do our Dropbox. So if you have any questions for me, just shoot me an email on Canvas. Please make sure that you read the lesson before you send me that email, because a lot of times your questions are answered in my little bullet points. So check that out first and then send me a message. So I will talk to you guys tomorrow. Bye.